Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Jake Gordon and Alex Orr. We have a ton of good topics to talk about tonight. Desmond Ridder, he's going to be a hot topic tonight. That's what we're going to start off the segment with. We also got other Falcons segments on Desmond Ridder and Calais Campbell talks, and Chipper Jones thinks Ronald Acuna could be the best player in Braves history. He also had some advice for Michael Harris. But let's start off with PFF's starting quarterback rankings. Desmond Ridder comes in second to last, ahead of only Anthony Richardson. And some of the names that I see in front of him, it's just disrespectful. Like, I get he didn't show a lot in his first 4 games, but he also didn't make a lot of rookie mistakes, which if we watch these rookies when they play, they're going to make a ton of mistakes. They may have more yards, but they're going to be asked to pass a lot more. They're going to be asked to do a lot more. Desmond Ridder's not going to be asked to do a lot. He's going to be able to do what Arthur Smith asks of him. I really believe that. But putting him at 31, Pro Football Focus, how disrespectful is that? And where do you think he belongs? Like, where should he be? There's also a couple other of these that I want to talk about besides Desmond Ridder.
You go ahead.
I think that it's not far off from where I would have him, but that's right now. You know, where I think he will be at the end of the season is much different than where he is right now. It's always hilarious to me to rank any. There should be a rule in these rankings. Every rookie has to be after a guy who has started a game in the NFL. That should just be a fact. You can't rank somebody, you know, except for the few Andrew Lucks, the Bryce Youngs. I'm okay with that. But to say C.J. Stroud is better than him already is, I mean, that's absolutely ludicrous. 4 games in the NFL, let alone a full year of sitting behind a veteran quarterback, is infinitely more valuable than C.J. Stroud's, you know, potential, him being a second overall pick. It's just ludicrous to do that. I do think that Desmond Ridder has a lot to work on. And I do agree with you, Chase, though, that he's not going to have to make – he's going to have to make 5, 6, maybe 7 big-time throws a game. That's it. The rest of it will be very open, schemed open. The run game's going to be there. You know, it's amazing what quarterback rankings have nothing to do with circumstance, and it's based solely on the production, and I don't think that's fair.
I just think, I mean, I'm looking at this list specifically, and not even rookies. I mean, Baker Mayfield comes ahead of him at 28. What has Baker Mayfield done except struggle? He had a decent year with Sean McVay as his offensive coordinator. And when I say decent, like, that might be better than he actually was. He still wasn't a good quarterback, and he was put in a perfect situation. Desmond Ridder is going to be put in an even better situation, and I think he showed just as much as Baker Mayfield did when he was a rookie and stuff like that. Sam Howell, I mean, this guy hasn't even barely played. He played 1 game. I mean, I'm reading directly from PFF's article. He completed 11 of 19 passes for 168 yards and a touchdown. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
and Kenny Pickett was equally disappointing for the Steelers. And I'm not saying either of those guys aren't going to pan out. They're just all in the same realm of no experience. They have no experience, and the sample size is so small that you're making these sweeping judgments off of them is kind of like embarrassing.
It is, because go ahead, Jake.
No, y'all are fine. I was gonna say I just saw that I'm a Russell Wilson hater, but having Ryan Tannehill ahead of Russell Wilson is crazy. That is insane.
This list gets bad.
Justin Fields is ahead of Russell Wilson. What?
I mean, no, I'm okay with that. Ryan Tannehill, no, I can live with Fields.
I said this from the get-go. I know we're straying from Falcons Desmond Ridder talk for a second, but Nathaniel Hackett was always going to fail. He was not even he was the 3rd most important person in Green Bay and their successful offenses that netted Aaron Rodgers 2 back-to-back MVPs. It is not on Russell Wilson. And this is what I'm talking about. Circumstance matters. Like, Russell Wilson and Sean McVay's offense is going to look a hell of a lot better than Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, that's crazy talk. 2 years ago, we were talking about Russell Wilson maybe being a Hall of Famer if he continued this career trajectory. Now he's behind Justin Fields?
We were talking about MVP. And yes, circumstances matter. I think the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, we're going to be talking about him as a top 10 quarterback again. I genuinely believe that.
I agree too.
There's no reason why this guy can't succeed. He's not too old. He's not He hasn't lost a step. Like he will be good with the right offensive coordinator. And there's very few guys better than Sean Payton. But I agree with you, Alex, on the Desmond Ridder thing. A lot of these guys, and there's sweeping judgments being made, especially by PFF, about a 4-game sample size. Like he can't do this, he can't do that. Listen, the guy was playing with Drake London as wide receiver 1. No one worth a damn at wide receiver 2. No, his second best target was Mecole Pruitt. I mean, like
Michael, but yes,
Mecole Pruitt, whatever you want to call him, I don't care. That's literally the point. Like he was throwing to nobody. He was also only starting in 4 games, and those 4 games came against some pretty good defenses. Like I really genuinely believe, I think the Falcons have a much improved skill position group because Kyle Pitts is going to be back. We obviously know about Bijan Robinson, Cordell Patterson. Like this is going to be a very good Jonnu Smith added. This is going to be a very good skill position group. They're going to run the hell out of the ball, and it's going to be just dink and dunk, and he's going to make easy passes. And I think he showed a very, like, they talk about his big time throws. I think he made a lot of clutch throws in the big moments down the fourth quarter. If Drake London doesn't fumble a couple balls, like they could have had some very good moments in the late parts of these games that he started. And he started against Baltimore. He started against New Orleans. He started against Tampa. I know they removed a lot of their starters, but I mean, these were not easy games, and it's only 4 games, and they're just like, yep, this guy can't even become an average starter.
Dude, hang on. I have to say something about this. So the first sentence says, there was little we saw from Ridder last season to suggest he will approach even average play at the position. And then in the last sentence, he says he also just recorded 136 dropbacks. So it would be a stretch to draw any concrete conclusions. You just contradicted yourself. You literally just said the complete opposite of what you said at the beginning. So I just take this with a grain of salt anyways. PFF is...
Yeah, I mean, and listen, they got to make a list, and they got to crap on somebody. And listen, I don't blame them from crapping on Ridder because I always say temper your expectations. The guy, it's not like the guy was elite. But I do think a lot can be said about the way he led the huddle, the way he looked in the fourth quarter on those drives. I think for the most part, he didn't make mistakes. That's when he looked the best, when they just said, hey, Ridder, drop back. We need you to make plays. I thought he looked pretty good on those fourth quarter drives, led a good fourth quarter drive against Arizona to win the game. And Drake London in Baltimore, when it was snowing, like that was a big moment, and he just fumbled the ball. Let's talk about a couple other names on this list. Joe Burrow comes at number 3. That's my guy. Alex, I know that's your guy. How in the hell is he behind Josh Allen? Can we stop this Josh Allen stuff? He's a good player. How the hell is Joe Burrow behind Josh Allen? Because it makes no sense. There is no numbers that back that up. I don't know what games they're watching. I really don't.
Yeah, I second that. I have a bigger issue with I'm secure in my Joe Burrow takes. Josh Allen's not the second best quarterback in the NFL. Joe Burrow's done an absolute miracle job over there in Cincinnati. I mean, before he got there, the Bengals were an absolute crap show. And I know Josh Allen resurrected the Bills, but even before he was there, they were starting to put it together under Sean McDermott. Joe Burrow is the only reason the Bengals are relevant. Zach Taylor is a below-average head coach. I don't know how he still has a job. Even before that, though, I want to talk – the Justin Herbert praise has got to stop. It has got to stop. He's ahead of Aaron Rodgers, and I know Aaron Rodgers – I mean, Justin Herbert is just not that good of a quarterback to me. Like I would take several quarterbacks.
I would take the guy
Trevor
can't
Lawrence.
win. I would take Trevor Lawrence
over Justin Herbert. The
guy
can't win.
Better than Justin Herbert.
Guy can't win. That's a lot to do with the position.
I mean, what has Justin Herbert do? Yes, he makes some good plays. Like he makes some flashy plays, but so does Trevor Lawrence. And guess what? Trevor Lawrence led a team back to beat him in the playoffs. I'll
defend Justin Herbert just for a second, just because I said circumstances matter. The Chargers coaching staff is just atrocious. That entire coaching staff should be cleaned out. They're doing the same thing the Falcons, not did, but like in the same path where they're still trying to salvage something, and they're wasting Justin Herbert's prime years. They're wasting them. Yeah. This guy, I mean, they have no idea what they're doing over there.
Yeah, I remember there was a Justin Herbert to the Falcons pipe dream, of course. It's like the NBA trade machine. But coming up after the break, we're going to have another PFF segment. They give their reason for why the Falcons will not make the playoffs this year.